So where I started for literally like the next day I came and started painting in this room we are sitting in. And that was easy because I'm an artist by nature. And I've always had like paints and brushes and all those types of things around me. So it wasn't like I needed to go out and find any of the things that I needed. I already had what I needed with me. So it literally the next day I came in, I started cutting and painting. And then I started posting on Instagram, just like, you know how during Corona everyone was baking, whatever. So I was posting like, this is what I'm doing. And guys are like, are you selling? And I'm like, selling what? And so that's when I created a page for Mokomaya and began my first attempt into making it a business. So I actually already had the tools because like I said earlier, I did this at home as a hobby. So in my apartment, I would always cut bottles and turn them into like holders for different things. I just never painted them or really did anything beyond cutting. So I did not have to go looking for equipment initially. With time, I've added a few things here and there, but I am just now a year in looking into like real equipment. Otherwise, what I'm using so far, I had all along. I think you're never sure of anything. Okay, well, I'm never sure about anything in this life, but I think what I can say is as you get older, you learn to trust your gut, and it felt good and it felt right. I didn't have the answers to a lot of things, like in terms of business and, where this was going to lead, but I had the support of the family. They also didn't know. I didn't know what I was being supported to do, but there was an environment where I could experiment and try. My first client was someone that was shopping for a gift. There was a guy from Belgium who was staying with a family in Karen, and he was referred to me through Instagram. And so he wanted something unique to take back to Belgium. So that was my first client, and that's how I connected. And then from there is the confidence to do my first market. So I did my first market where I was able to display my goods and just hear what people's response to the stuff was, and made some more sales. Actually made good sales. I was like, why are people buying this stuff? So it kind of made me get my act together because I didn't think anybody would buy. And so when people bought, then I was like, okay, time to buckle up and do something real. So the next step was, I didn't even actually go looking for bottles. What happened is when people saw me at my first market in Karen, guys were like, do you take bottles? Yeah. And that was when I got to learn that there's an actually trash problem in Kenya, because on the very first market, a lot of people were like, can we give you our bottles? We have bottles, and it seems like every Kenyan has bottles in a store or in a shamba where they're like, I don't know what to do with them. They're just here. So I started going door to door with my car and just collecting when I was called by people. I'm now, as I grow, it's harder to now go door to door. So what we're doing is we're setting up collection points where people can come and drop their bottles. I still have a few people who I collect from individual homes, but that's usually a coordinated effort from like a multiple number of homes within the same area where like it's going to be a collection that's worth the effort. So in terms of, when I say a bit more, in terms of growth, it was the first market, like everything looked different. Like nothing had a theme. Everything was just like, I picked red in the morning, I painted red. I picked blue, that's what I did, yeah? But now as I get more into the market, I'm doing a bit more coordination in terms of pieces, so that if you come, you can get a set of glasses that match your vase, that match your holder, that match your carafe. Thinking a bit more thoroughly about the themes behind the color choices, the pattern choices, and also understanding what people like. People like African feel. And so initially when I started, it was very mandala based, which is a lot of sacred geometry. But then as I've explored the art a bit more, of course, when you start doing something, you go on Pinterest, you go on Instagram, you find other people who do the same thing, and you kind of, create your own space and how you do your own thing. So that's basically been the evolution. My background is in design, right? So I have a lot of experience as a designer, a graphic designer. And so I'm able to apply theoretic knowledge from school that not necessarily every person that's painting bottles will have. So For instance, when it comes to understanding color, I've studied color as a major in school, as a subject in school. So I'm able to understand how colors interact and how you balance colors when you put them together. I'm able to understand layout in a way that's a bit different. And so I bring that to what I do. Yeah. So I'm not following necessarily like a pattern on IG. I'm creating my own pattern, and I understand like how the science behind creating patterns.